I will say this unabashedly. I just love this woman. I absolutely love Ann Coulter. And she's joining us live right now, AnnCoulter.com. How are you, Ann?
Fine, thanks. How are you? Good to talk to you.
It's always great to speak with you, and especially when you're in the news.
I didn't even know until I got the email from Sherry.
Yeah, I'll read the headline here in the San Francisco Chronicle. Ann Coulter shreds Donald Trump and Paul Ryan over Obamacare Light.
Oh, excellent. I thought you were talking about the Modesto
Oh, no,
speech.
we'll get to that one as well.
Fantastic.
No, because you're coming to the Bay Area. We're going to talk about that, too. That's really cool. But
Which I did not know about the protesters. But as for shredding, well, I'm holding the Emperor God Trump harmless on this one. This wasn't. I mean, every candidate has pros and cons, and a presidential candidate will generally have maybe two or three big issues. Well, obviously, Trump's are immigration,
right.
Trade, ending political correctness, helping the working class and middle class Americans. The details of how to repeal and replace Obamacare. I mean, come on, these guys in Congress, are they doing anything? He's been canceling TPP, haranguing American CEOs, appointing a Supreme Court justice, imposing not one but two travel bans, and fighting with the courts, appointing all of his nominees from outside of government. What are they doing over there in Congress? And this bill that Ryan came up with, I want to fly to Washington and strangle them. Am I the last person in America who understands the free market? When the Republican idea of how to distribute a product in modern free enterprise America involves things like, and for people making between 100% and 127% of the poverty rate, there will be X premium and this support
Right.
and that subsidy.
Right.
How about we buy health insurance the same way we buy every other product in America, driving prices down and access improving? In fact, I have the GOP plan for them. I'll be launching on Wednesday. I haven't worked out all the details, but I believe it's one sentence long. There shall be a free market in health insurance.
done. That's it, done. Just like every other insurance. I mean, with car insurance, with life insurance, et cetera. But there's this mentality that's permeated Washington that says, no, health care is a right. We need to make sure that a lot of people can get it for free.
No, and also the mindset that a bunch of politicians in Washington can set premiums and set essential benefits better than people, the experts in demography, in epidemiology, in diseases, in demographics. They get at an insurance company, people needing to compete for my business. No. Washington can figure it out better than you guys can.
Right.
I know we want to buy it the same way we buy flat screen TVs, and in many markets in America, not in New York or San Francisco, housing. Buy it on the free market without lots of controls. I mean, obviously, you still have laws on, contract law and laws on fraud and that sort of thing, but we're able to make mutually beneficial transactions among ourselves out here. And what they did is actually the worst of all possible worlds. Yes, there are people who either through no fault of their own or through many, many faults of their own, will not be able to purchase their own health insurance. Okay, that's a different case. Those are the welfare cases. I mean, again, whether that's said with a small degree of malice toward the lazy and incompetent, or no malice at all toward the people who are just unlucky and born with a child or themselves have some astronomically expensive medical condition. Different case. And why bother taking away the welfare cases? This is the most important part of healthcare, decoupling the welfare cases from the free market, because normally when we have the welfare cases, and again, that isn't completely said with malice, normally when we have the welfare cases, it's paid for. How's it paid for? Through the income tax. So, Bill Gates and Warren Buffett and Mark Zuckerberg will be paying a larger amount to the federal government because it is based on their income. With Obamacare, we're not paying for it through income taxes. We're paying for it through the middle class's insurance premiums.
Yes.
It's insane. insane.
Hey, Ann Coulter with us on KSFO, AnnCoulter.com. Also the book In Trump We Trust, as well as the book Adios America, and a ton of other books that are so relevant right now. And out here in San Francisco, the liberals are so beside themselves regarding Donald Trump. We call them Trump wasted. How? They're just out of their mind.
I'm trying to figure out. I mean, it's not just San Francisco. Though I think California in general, San Francisco and LA are worse than New York. But I mean, read the New York Times. I have read the New York Times. I used to want to cut an ad for them as their most loyal reader, which their writers thought was hilarious because most of the time I'm attacking it. But at least it used to be the most articulate expression of left-wing thought, or among them, right, in America. Read it every day, and basically since Trump came along, I can't do it anymore. It's not interesting. It's not fun. It's just every day, Trump is ugly. Trump is stupid. Trump is a traitor. You go to the sports section, Trump's golf game sucks.
Right.
You go to the cooking section, and the food at Mar-a-Lago is awful. It's just hysteria on every page. And epithets. It's not arguments. It's not facts. One strange thing, I mean, NPR, weirdly enough, as anti-Trump as they are, at least some of the stations I've listened to are more fair and balanced. They'll at least occasionally give the other side than any of the liberal networks or the New York Times. It's just taken as a fact that the Trump campaign colluded with Russia. You know, there's one thing we know here. We know that. Now we have to figure out, who did the collusion, whether it was treason. Well, no. I mean, the New York Review of Books, that Matt Taibbi over at Rolling Stone magazine, the foreign policy guy at Washington Post, they all looked at that intelligence report. Remember the one that came out end of January, February, the 25 pages. Okay, we're releasing our evidence that the Trump campaign colluded with Russia. Every serious person who looked at it, and you can look at it yourself, said, you gave us nothing. All you did was repeat your conclusions over and over again. And the more that gets looked at, the more, and a lot of computer experts have said, the alleged tracking that they left behind, or the clues, this is being misread. Those clues everybody has now.
So this is a great segue to you coming to the Bay Area, and this is land of these Trump-wasted people. And now, folks, it's almost like Milo's coming back to UC Berkeley. You're going to Modesto to talk to the GOP and their Lincoln dinner. And people in Modesto are like, oh, my God, and Coulter's coming here. This is hilarious. I'm loving it. I can't wait for April 28th.
I know. Me too. I actually am very much looking forward to being up there. I think it won't be Berkeley. Maybe this will be famous last words, but it's an hour drive from Berkeley, and I don't think the snowflakes are going to bother with that. I won't be upsetting their little communities. And, I mean, you guys know better than I do, but I understand Modesto is a nice farming community. There are no college campuses there, are there?
There's a small, I think there's a UC, State University campus there. But and a junior college.
Study. Yeah, they probably want to study. If you're going to college there, you're going to learn something. You're not going to protest. So I looked it up after I got your email on Friday, and I noticed something suspicious, Brian. Everyone giving quotes to the newspaper denouncing me was the head of some like Hispanic grievance group. So they're all like little Jorge Ramoses. They're not actually speaking for Hispanic people. They're speaking for their bottom line.
Yes.
I mean, how can you have all of these Hispanic civil rights and Hispanic emergency response team and Hispanic unless you have a bunch of people to lead? Well, no, I think Hispanics in the country legally, A, don't so much think of themselves as Hispanics as Americans, and B, they don't want the competition.
And guess what? At this GOP event, April 28th, where you'll be speaking, Ann Coulter, it's going to be a very diverse crowd, and there will be a lot of Latinos and Hispanics there because I know that region. But it's amazing. Ann Coulter's coming. It's just another reason for these Trump-wasted people to go off.
Oh, I'm a lot of fun. They ought to come listen to me.
Well, you're a great speaker, and we love you so much whenever you're on KSFO. And we'll have you on before the event as well. And we probably just sold the place out now by talking with you.
I hope so, and I'm glad you reminded me. I have to put it up on my webpage.
All right. Well, you get on that. Ann Coulter, thank you so much.
Good to talk to you, Brian.
Right,
bye-bye.
There she goes. Ann Coulter on KSFO.